Namaste, my name is James Bryan. I'm here to talk to you about the Knoff Yoga overview, which I have here in my hand. I'm very happy to email you a copy of this, james@knoffyoga.com, Knoff Yoga overview in the subject heading, and I'll send you a copy of this. This is essentially the framework for the Knoff Yoga teacher training, and the same thing we do in our public classes. When you have a handle on this, you'll have a lot more structure for your own practice and for your teaching as well. First of all, let me talk about the rationale. Why are we doing yoga? What's the point behind it? What are we doing for our students? So our purpose is to experience freedom in the body and the mind. So that aligns us with the traditional goal of yoga. With our rationale, we're also working to create strong, flexible, healthy, disciplined, and independent individuals. We're not looking for clones. What we want is for you to be able to stand strongly on your own 2 feet and teach from your own personality. We do emphasize the 5 pillars of practice. That's another topic for another viewing. We also, the application of this, it's to enhance our relationships and to become the best people that we can be. So that's the overview, or the rationale behind the overview. Now, when we teach our classes, all of our public classes, there are 5 segments in each and every class. We're doing this so that we give our students the full benefit of yoga so that they can progress at the best rate for themselves. These 5 segments, these 5 parts are meditation, pranayama, asana, relaxation, and philosophy. So now these incorporate the 8 limbs of yoga. So again, we're working from a traditional viewpoint. Now, with these 5 segments, these 5 parts in each and every class, with the Knoff Yoga system, we've designed percentages, how much time you should spend in each class on these components. With the meditation, approximately 5%. With the pranayama, 12%. Asana, 66%. Relaxation, again, 12%. And the philosophy, we always finish off with the philosophy, again, a 5%. So that 5, 12, 66, 12, and 5 obviously come to 100%. Do keep in mind that these percentages for teaching your classes are guidelines. So it's just to ensure that you bring across the 5 segments, the 5 parts in each every class in a balanced manner. Now within those 5 segments, the asana, the posture part of that, we have designed a 11 asana group sequence that you would teach at every level in every class. And they are earth and sun salutations, inverted poses heating. Now inverted poses heating are the stimulated inversions. For example, the headstand, handstand, elbow balance, and beginner's level would be dolphin poses, etc. Then we do the standing postures, arm balancings, forward bends, sitting postures, abdominals, twists, back bends, inverted poses, cooling. Now the cooling aspect, that would reflect in the shoulder stand in its variations. And then we'll always finish off with relaxation. So that's the 11 parts to the asana group sequencing. With this 11 asana group sequence, we teach that at every level. In our beginners classes, in our intermediate classes, in our advanced classes, we always follow the same sequence. It makes it very easy for the students to learn the system, and also makes it very easy for you to teach. Now, with this 11 asana group sequencing, we then have on top of that a 5-week rotational sequence where we workshop components of this so that the students get a better understanding, a better handle on them. Of these 5 weeks, again, this is the 5-week rotational program. The first week is earth and sun salutations and inverted poses. Now remember, inverted poses include the heating aspect and the cooling aspect. So for that week, we workshop that part of the class when we're working with those postures. The rest of the class, the asana aspects of that, we work at a normal pace, which in Knoff Yoga terms would be with vinyasa. The next week, standing poses, forward bends, and sitting postures. Third week, arm balancings and abdominals. Fourth week, twist and back bends. And in our 5th week, it's vinyasa or consolidation. So on that 5th week, what we do is we then teach the students how to link everything together so they bring that strong energetic aspect into their practice. And then of course, we roll the whole thing over again. keeping in mind that repetition is the first law of learning, but you need sufficient variety to keep it interesting if you want to retain your students. Another aspect of the Knoff Yoga system are the 5 bandhas. Bandhas are lifting actions. These are internal actions that we apply to make the body light and strong. The first one is Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor area. The second one is Uddiyana Bandha Minor. Now this is just above the pubic bone and from hip to hip, and that contributes to the impact of that Mula Bandha. Then there's Jalandhara Bandha, the chin lock, and that's used for lifting the spine, and it's applied in various poses. And then there's the hand and foot bandhas, Hasta and Pada Bandha. All of these bandhas contribute to a strong lightness coming into the body. Another aspect to the Knoff Yoga system is balanced practice. Now, as far as I know, and we do travel a lot, we're the only yoga school in the whole world that teaches this right and left aspect to the practice. So when we're interlacing our fingers for example, headstand, one day I'd put my right index finger on top, and the next day I would put the left finger on top. When I'm crossing my legs, easy cross legs, Padmasana, lotus pose, one day I'd bring in the right side, and the next day I would bring in the left side. When I jump out, so when I'm standing in mountain pose and I jump out to the side, one day I would go to the right, and the next day I would go to the left. Now, the logic behind this is to ensure symmetry of the body, breath, and the mind. And if you haven't been doing it, I think you'll find it's extremely useful. Now, another aspect of the Knoff Yoga system is highlighting step-by-step progression. So we've designed 9 different levels of practice. It's no different from the martial arts. You start off with a white belt, then say, for example, the yellow belt, then the green belt, then the blue belt, working your way up to the black belt. Exactly the same approach applies to the Knoff Yoga system. We start beginners off at a syllabus suitable for them, and then progressively move them on up through those levels. It's also important to respect the individuality of every student. Different body proportions, different heights, different weights, and we need to be respectful for that and adjust the practice so that the yoga suits them, not vice versa. Also, we feel with the Knoff Yoga system that the education, training our students, is just as important as the exercise. And then it's incredibly important to use positive communication. We use yoga to lift people up, not to tear them down, and our vocabulary and the way we speak to people, including body imagery, is incredibly important. So that's just a brief overview. There's a lot more to it. But again, the Knoff Yoga overview, if you would like a copy, email me, jamesbryan@knoffyoga.com. The subject heading put in the overview, and I'm very happy to share this with you. And if you have any questions, I'm also happy to answer that as well. Thank you for your time. Namaste. Look forward to seeing you on the mat.